Aging is not a crisis. It's a transition, a rite of passage that every woman walks through, with her own story, her own scars, her own strength. But some signs? They're not just natural. They're warning lights, quiet signals the body sends long before the sirens start blaring. And far too many women ignore them until the damage is done. This isn't about vanity. This is about vitality. It's about protecting your energy, your confidence, your future before anything is taken from you. Because the truth is, aging well doesn't happen by accident. It takes awareness. It takes action. And it starts with knowing what to look for and what never to ignore. And the final sign on this list? It's the one no one talks about, not your doctor, not your friends, until it's far too late. You'll want to stay until the end. Sign 1. Unexplained fatigue. We all feel tired sometimes, after a long day, a rough night's sleep, or a stressful week. But when tired becomes your default setting, when waking up doesn't feel refreshing, and naps don't help, it's not just your age. It's a message. Persistent fatigue is one of the most underestimated and most misunderstood signs of aging in women. It often creeps in slowly. At first, you think you're just overworked. Then, you blame the weather, or your schedule, or your responsibilities. But here's the truth: chronic fatigue is not normal. It can be your body's first cry for help, linked to hormonal imbalances, thyroid dysfunction, adrenal burnout, anemia, vitamin B12 deficiency, even undiagnosed perimenopause or autoimmune conditions. And yet, many women chalk it up to being busy or getting older. They push through it. They pour another cup of coffee. They keep going until they can't. Actionable tips. Start by doing something powerful. Pay attention. Begin journaling your energy levels. Note when you crash, when you feel foggy, or when you feel most alert. Bring this log to your next doctor's visit and advocate for a full blood panel. Iron, B12, D3, thyroid, TSH, T3, T4, cortisol, and hormone levels. You deserve real answers, not vague reassurances. You don't need to push through. You need to pause and listen to your body. Because fatigue isn't a weakness. It's a whisper, and if ignored, it becomes a scream. But fatigue isn't the only thing that lingers. Sometimes, the numbers on the scale shift. Even when your habits haven't changed a bit. Sign 2. Sudden weight gain or loss. You've been eating the same, moving the same, maybe even working harder than ever. But the number on the scale? It's going up, or dropping too fast, and nothing seems to make sense. This isn't about willpower. This isn't about laziness. This is about biology and how your body begins to shift, often dramatically, after 40. As estrogen declines and cortisol rises, your metabolism doesn't just slow down, it transforms. Fat begins to redistribute. Muscle mass diminishes. Your cells become less responsive to insulin, making it harder to regulate blood sugar and easier to store fat, especially around the belly. And it's not just about weight gain. Unintended weight loss can also be a red flag, signaling thyroid issues, nutrient malabsorption, or even chronic stress burning through your reserves. Hormones like cortisol, insulin, estrogen, and leptin don't just affect your weight. They affect your mood, sleep, energy, cravings, and even your memory. And yet, far too often, they're left out of the conversation. Actionable tip. To support your metabolism, you need to shift from punishment to partnership. Prioritize strength training to preserve lean muscle and boost metabolic activity. Focus on whole, anti-inflammatory foods, rich in fiber, protein, and healthy fats. Get serious about sleep hygiene, as even mild sleep disruption spikes cortisol. Support insulin sensitivity by reducing refined sugars and moving regularly, especially after meals. Your body isn't failing you. It's simply asking you to evolve with it, to meet it where it is now, not where it used to be. You're not broken. You're adapting. And with the right tools, you can thrive in this new season. But not all warning signs show up on your waistline. Some appear in the way you speak, the words you choose, and what they reveal about what's really going on inside. Sign 3. Cognitive slips and memory fog. You walk into a room and forget why. You lose your train of thought mid-sentence. Names, dates, to-do lists, slipping through like sand. Most women brush it off, chalking it up to stress, multitasking, or just getting older. But here's the truth. Cognitive fog isn't just a nuisance, it's a message. After 40, brain function becomes more sensitive to subtle internal shifts, many of which are completely overlooked. Drops in estrogen can affect the hippocampus, the area of the brain responsible for memory and learning. Poor sleep quality, often triggered by perimenopause or stress, compounds forgetfulness and mental fatigue. Chronic inflammation, blood sugar instability, even dehydration, they all quietly dull cognitive clarity. And in some cases, these symptoms can hint at the very early stages of more serious neurological conditions, ones that benefit from early intervention. So no, you're not losing it. But your brain might be asking for a different kind of nourishment. Actionable tip. Protect your mental sharpness with 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted, high-quality sleep. Your brain detoxes during deep sleep. Engage in daily cognitive stimulation, puzzles, reading, language learning, or even creative play. Stay hydrated, as even mild dehydration can impair concentration. Add omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish, walnuts, or supplements, to support neuronal health and reduce inflammation. Most importantly, talk about it. You're not alone. And cognitive support is healthcare, not a luxury. You're not losing your edge. You're sharpening new tools rooted in wisdom, adaptability, and awareness. But what about the pain you don't talk about? The discomfort that creeps into every step, your joints, your bones, and only grows in silence? Sign 4, joint stiffness and muscle loss. You stand up after sitting and feel the creak in your knees. Climbing stairs feels heavier than it used to. Opening jars? Lifting groceries? Suddenly harder than you remember. Most chalk it up to just getting older. But joint stiffness and muscle loss aren't simply signs of aging. They're signals of underuse, inflammation, and hormonal shifts. After 45, sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass and strength, becomes increasingly common. It's subtle at first, a little more effort to carry things, a little more soreness after activities. But over time, this decline can impact your balance, your mobility, and your freedom. At the same time, early-onset osteoarthritis, fueled by chronic inflammation, hormonal changes, and past injuries, can stiffen joints and make daily movement feel like a chore. And here's the catch. The less we move, the more we lose. Muscle supports joint health. Strong muscles protect bones, ease pain, and fuel energy. Ignore them, and the body begins to break its own momentum. Actionable tips. Incorporate resistance training 2 to 3 times a week. This doesn't mean lifting heavy weights. It can be as simple as bodyweight exercises, resistance bands, or strength-based yoga. Focus on mobility and flexibility, especially in the hips, knees, and shoulders. Support your musculoskeletal system with vitamin D, magnesium, and a diet rich in anti-inflammatory foods. Think leafy greens, berries, turmeric, and omega-3 fats. Stay hydrated. Joints are mostly water, and dehydration exacerbates stiffness. Even if you've never lifted a dumbbell in your life, even if your joints feel stiff and your back aches, you can reclaim your strength. And in doing so, you reclaim your freedom. Strength isn't lost with age. It's lost with neglect. And it's never too late to build back. But now, let's talk about something you see every day, yet might not truly be heard. Because when your skin starts speaking, do you know what it's saying? Sign 5, dry, dull, or itchy skin. Your skin, once radiant, now feels tighter, duller, sometimes itchy, flaky, or even paper-thin in places. You moisturize more, but it never quite feels like enough. This isn't just about dry weather or a change in products. Often, it's your body trying to tell you something deeper. After 40, the body begins to produce less collagen, the protein that gives your skin its elasticity, fullness, and glow. At the same time, estrogen levels dip, affecting the skin's natural moisture barrier and making it more prone to dryness, itching, and sensitivity. And it doesn't stop there. Skin changes can also point to circulatory issues, dehydration, or even nutrient deficiencies. When your skin looks and feels off, it's often a mirror reflecting your internal health. Think of your skin as your body's largest messenger. It's not just an aesthetic canvas, it's a communicator. When the glow fades, when the texture changes, when discomfort creeps in, don't just cover it up. Look within. Actionable tips. Hydration is non-negotiable. Drink water steadily throughout the day, not just in bursts. Add collagen-rich foods like bone broth, wild-caught fish, and egg whites to your meals. Supplement with collagen peptides if needed. Support collagen production with vitamin C, found in citrus fruits, bell peppers, and leafy greens. Incorporate omega-3 fatty acids and skin-nourishing oils like flaxseed, avocado, and evening primrose oil. Consider dry brushing or gentle exfoliation to boost circulation and support skin renewal. Your glow isn't gone. It hasn't disappeared. It's just waiting for you to turn your attention inward and listen. But perhaps the most overlooked aging sign isn't one you see in the mirror. It's one you feel deep inside, and too many women mistake it for normal. Stay with me. Sign 6. Mood shifts, loneliness, and anxiety. You wake up feeling a little more fragile. Irritated by small things. Unmotivated in moments that once brought joy. The tears come easier, and the laughter harder. These shifts? They're not random. They're real. And no, they're not just in your head. After 40, women experience natural hormonal changes, particularly with estrogen, progesterone, and serotonin, that can dramatically affect mood regulation, emotional resilience, and even sleep quality. Pair that with common life transitions, empty nests, caregiving roles, career shifts, and it's no wonder the emotional ground can feel shaky. But perhaps the most dangerous symptom of all is the one we speak of the least: loneliness. And it's more than just a feeling, it's a health risk. Studies now link chronic loneliness to higher risks of heart disease, depression, dementia, and early mortality. Yes, early mortality. And yet, millions of women suffer in silence, believing their sadness is a personal failure instead of a physiological call for care. Actionable tips. Build intentional connection. Schedule regular time with friends or family. Even brief check-ins matter. Join community groups, wellness circles, or online communities for shared interests or life stages. Move your body daily. Even light walks can ease anxiety and release endorphins. Speak openly about your emotional state, not just to loved ones, but to yourself. Seek professional support when needed. Therapy isn't weakness, it's wellness. Consider journaling, mindfulness, or breath work to create small but steady anchors. You're not being emotional. You're not too much. You're not broken. You're being human. And your healing? It doesn't start in the mind, it starts in the heart. And yet, even after all these signs, the fatigue, the weight changes, the brain fog, the stiffness, the skin, and the soul, there's one more that nearly every woman encounters. It's so familiar, it becomes invisible, but ignoring it could cost you the most. Sign 7. Skipping checkups and screenings. It starts with a thought. I'll book it later. I'm fine, probably. What if they find something? And before you know it, a year has passed. Then too many women, especially after 40, begin silently stepping away from routine health screenings. Mammograms, pap smears, heart tests, thyroid panels, bone density scans. These appointments are often skipped out of fear, time pressure, insurance concerns, or even shame. But here's the truth. Avoiding the doctor doesn't protect your health. It protects the illusion that everything is fine. And illusions have a way of shattering, painfully. Early detection saves lives, and not just from cancer. Consider this. Heart disease is the #1 killer of women, yet often undetected until a crisis. Osteoporosis begins quietly but can lead to fractures, immobility, and long recoveries. Breast cancer, when found early, has a 90% plus survival rate. Delay? And the odds shift. Pap smears detect cervical cell changes before they turn cancerous. Even simple blood work can catch anemia, vitamin deficiencies, thyroid issues, or prediabetes, long before symptoms become debilitating. And the truth is, these tests aren't just about catching illness. They're about reclaiming agency. About saying, my body is worth protecting. My time is worth extending. My health is worth knowing, not guessing. Actionable tips. Book your next preventive screening today. Even if it's just blood work or a physical, get it on the calendar. Create a simple health maintenance checklist with annual reminders. Talk with your doctor about what's age-appropriate for you. Not all tests are one-size-fits-all. Bring a friend or family member along for support or help them book theirs. Don't wait until something feels wrong. Health isn't just reactive. It should be proactive. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's not indulgent. It's not dramatic. It's self-respect, and it's non-negotiable. These signs aren't here to scare you. They're here to empower you. Because aging isn't declining. It's an invitation to deepen, to strengthen, to live intentionally. You've listened. You've learned. Now it's time to act. Like this video if it helps you feel seen. Subscribe for weekly insight, tailored just for you. Share it with a woman you love, someone who needs to hear this right now. And most of all, share your voice in the comments. Tell us what sign you wish you'd recognized earlier. Because your story might help another woman stay safe and stay strong. We age better when we age together.